Welcome back to another deep dive.
Good to be here.
Today we're looking at the very latest crypto market analysis from Vantage Plus. It just dropped today, July 7th, 2025.
Hot off the press.
Exactly. And the title itself, Waiting for the Altcoin Rally, kind of gives you a hint, doesn't it? Are things about to pop, or are we stuck?
That's the big question.
So our mission today is really to pull out the key insights, focus on the overall market feeling, the sentiment, and the really crucial technicals for the big ones: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so first off, this report. What's the general mood it describes? It mentions U.S. indices are still well bid.
Right, which means, good buying interest in traditional markets.
And that's usually seen as a positive signal for crypto, right?
Generally, yeah. It provides a sort of supportive backdrop. What's interesting here, though, is the report notes that even with a potential NASDAQ correction maybe looming in the summer, the upside for Bitcoin specifically still looks positive.
Okay, so Bitcoin's okay, but what about the others?
Well, that's the divergence. The report stresses that altcoins, like ETH and SOL, they still need their own positive momentum. They can't just rely on Bitcoin or the NASDAQ.
Right, they need their own fuel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It suggests, maybe different risk factors at play now.
And digging deeper, the report says technicals are a bit mixed across the board for individual tokens. But, and this seems important, the overall positive trend is still intact.
Yes, and they point specifically to institutional investors driving that.
Does that feel like a fundamental shift to you? Less retail frenzy, more big money?
I think it absolutely points that way, that institutional money provides a kind of floor, a level of support.
But it doesn't lift all boats equally, clearly.
No, definitely not. It's becoming a more selective market.
Yeah.
More mature, perhaps.
Okay, let's get specific then. Technical analysis time. Bitcoin first. BTC currently sitting around USD 108,071.
Right.
Last week, it poked at 110K again, but just couldn't quite make a new all-time high.
Yeah, it failed that test. And looking bigger picture, the weekly chart, like you said, shows the positive trend is still surprisingly strong. That recent dip, pretty much already offset.
So what's the holdup? The report calls it slight sleepy mode.
Well, sleepy mode here probably means consolidation. It's not necessarily bad. It could be building energy.
For a move.
Potentially. But it really needs to break that previous high to get fresh upside momentum going. If it doesn't, well, negative momentum could creep in.
And if it does break higher?
Then the report suggests maybe a path towards the 120K range could open up.
Okay. Bitcoin consolidating. Let's look at Ethereum. ETH trading at $2,498. Seems like it's trying to follow Bitcoin's lead, maybe lagging a bit, but looking like it might break out too.
What's really interesting with ETH is the monthly chart. It managed to close June on a positive note, trading above its 50 moving average.
That's a key level, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's often seen as strong underlying support. So that zone around the 50 MA should act as a floor now.
And if it holds?
If that area doesn't break down, the report thinks we could see some pretty fast upside momentum, probably, following Bitcoin's lead closely.
Okay, ETH looking somewhat constructive. Now, XRP, trading at about USD 2.20.
Yeah, XRP.
The technicals here look a bit capped. Downside momentum below a key trend line, the blue color one they mentioned.
That's right. The weekly chart shows it tried to break out, but it failed. It just can't seem to push higher.
Even with the lawsuit stuff seemingly winding down, the cross appeal is over, but the market's not reacting positively.
Not yet, no. It's almost like it's stuck in limbo, isn't it? The report actually throws out there that an XRP ETF, well, that might be the game changer.
So it needs something external. Like really external.
Seems that way. More than just internal technical strength right now.
Okay, lastly, Solana. SOL at USD 146.05. The report calls this one the worst performance of the bunch.
Yeah, it's not looking great technically in the short term. The last couple of months have basically given conflicting signals.
Resulting in just sideways action.
Pretty much. A sideways grind. It really needs a trigger to break out one way or the other.
And the levels to watch.
The report is pretty clear. A sustainable move is likely only above $175 or below $120.
So in between is just noise.
Kind of a no man's land for traders,
Yeah.
yeah. The advice is basically wait for more clarity. It really highlights the patience needed for some of these assets.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. What's the main takeaway from this Vantage Plus report?
Well, I think it's that underlying positive trend, especially for Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum following it.
Yeah.
That seems intact.
Right, driven by the institutional side.
Exactly. But then you have these clear signals that some altcoins like XRP and Solana, they're lagging, they're waiting for something specific.
A catalyst or just clear market direction overall?
Yeah, precisely. We see how important those specific technical levels are and how external factors, like a potential ETF for XRP, could be crucial. It really determines if that altcoin rally actually happens.
So this leads us to a final thought for you, the listener. Given that some major tokens are in this sleepy mode or waiting for clarity, like Solana, how do you think this period of consolidation, or maybe just waiting, might influence the crypto market's next big move?
Yeah. And what does it tell us about the kind of patience or maybe the strategy needed for different types of crypto investments right now?
Something to think about. We'll leave it there for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.